Man, the girls in this show be freaky, and the subtitle game is just completely on point. There's so many moments you can just like grab and just say, excuse me? But that scene in this empty classroom with, of course, the sister and new girl popping up being like, hey, what's a sub? And then she explains and she says, I'm going to be the perfect sub. The best part about the cast dynamic in Russian girl anime over here is that it's 1/3 meme. And that 1/3, it's not always around. It's very similar to the direction they go with Alya not always saying Russian. We might get a few glimpses in an episode, but it's not overpowering, so it always leaves you wanting more. And very similar to the memeing, just casually having a character not understand what a sub is, and then just I honestly feel like the misunderstanding is gonna be, imagine going home to Grandpa. Grandpa's like, hey, how was your day at school? And she's like, I learned I'm the perfect sub. Brilliant. I, of course, have those full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to any of these episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, they actually ended it pretty spicy, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what this girl's problem is, but all I'm saying, I don't condone it in general, but if a little bullying came into this school, maybe she got kicked down, her glasses stomped on, shoved into a locker, maybe we look the other way, that's all I'm saying. She legitimately had a stick up her ass, though. Like, let's be honest. Like, she came in there swinging. She was saying some pretty nasty things. Like, she was insulting Alya. She was insulting our boy. Like, it was just throwing hands. Saying that, you know, why would you take the slacker? Therefore, the only reason you would take him is because you're trying to hurt her. Like, it comes from a place where it seems like she's under the assumption that we're being nasty and we're purposely trying to hurt the sister, Yugi. It's like, that kind of feels like the vibe, but at the same time, I'm not sure why she would care so much. But apparently we're getting into student congress, which I've never heard of before, but the school acts like the glove was just thrown down and we're about ready to duel. I do have a question though, and I'm generally curious if I'm the only one who's noticed this. Has anyone pieced together that this simultaneously looks like the richest and cheapest school all in one? The general classrooms look like any anime classroom in existence. And then every time they're outside, they have these giant pillars. Like, I'm looking like, are we in Hogwarts? Like, what's going on here? It just doesn't make sense to me. It simultaneously looks like the fanciest, richest school known to man and the most boring plain school known to man. Who the hell designed this place? Like, did they spend their entire budget just trying to build the exterior that they didn't have, like, ways to make it fancier inside the classroom? I got no idea, but it confuses me. But, it was an interesting episode for the slower stuff. That was actually probably the stuff that surprised me the most. Because this show, you know, like I said, it's like 1/3 meme. But it is also 1/3 pretty normal school anime, but that stuff actually comes across rather well. Like, even the simple moment where we have, basically, you know, it's like kind of the welcoming party, hey, you're now part of the student body, blah, blah, blah. Everyone gives off their drinks of what they want, and our boy, very good memory, it looks like they're all rather impressed, because they all did order something vastly different, and some of the names were a bit of a tongue twister. We end up leaving with, of course, sister, and we have this, like, very sweet, like, cute moment, and just the idea of her, like, giving him a head pat at the end, just saying, like, you're a good boy. Like, that scene could have been so easy to fumble. It could have just felt like fetish bait or cringy or something, but it's not just because we know that she is the childhood friend. Like, that's not the only reason this scene works. It's almost simply because, like, out of all the insanity and BS going on, it just felt like, you know, for him, he has that nostalgia of, like, feeling comforted like he once was back in the day. And I just really liked what they did there. It was definitely a funny episode, and I think the fact that I think this is the first time we have heard Russian be used as an insult, because up to this point, anytime she's been a little feistier in Russian, it's never been a direct insult. But we started the episode off with pretty much a direct insult, and then just watching her get, like, a blizzard was raining down on her because they start asking, like, what's he into? And then it starts naming off, like, okay, we don't want cold death stares, and then she just almost has, like, an anvil, like, land on her, like, oh shit, that's me. We go from her almost allowing the boys to keep their slightly erotic magazines to I'm confiscating this because you boys make me upset about myself. And I'm like, oh, Alia, the pain. The pain, I feel it. Though it's always nice whenever we have a school anime these days. And there's always at least one character who looks like Potato from The Eminence in Shadow. It's just basically like playing Where's Waldo at this point, trying to find him. But in general, this show is doing something interesting. It sideswipes you at the start with episode 1, making you think it's like, oh, okay, the gimmick is that she slightly speaks Russian, it'll be this kind of will they, won't they. And then episode 2 comes in and you say, what the hell's wrong with this sister? And then every episode past that has kind of done a little bit of different things throughout it, but we're at a point now where this show doesn't really feel comparable to other school shows, because at a moment's notice, the characters can feel the most normal or most out of pocket, yet it actually does feel like we're progressing and building different connections. I mean, if you need any more answers on who apparently our boy loves the most, it comes right from his mouth that no one is above his sister at this point, so I guess she stays winning even if she doesn't realize it. But I really appreciate how we're actually building these interesting moments, like, you know, someone who is apparently looked at as a slacker, a lazy guy, is actually going out of his way to help Alya because very clearly he's developing feelings for her. And then you have this scene near the start of the episode, which felt like you could have pulled it straight out of Classroom of the Elite. The interrogation before we got the whole sub joke, which was still funniest thing. It just felt like you could have put Aino Koji in that situation and just to talk about grandfather and are you carrying on your mission. Even though it's a lot more simplified than what maybe Aino Koji goes through in Classroom of the Elite, it literally felt like in a Classroom of the Elite interrogation scene in the middle of a school setting, and I just found that funny. Overall, though, this wouldn't be my favorite episode overall, but it was definitely probably right around the middle in terms of like the best. If I was to take the best or weakest episodes, I'd probably put this one straight down the middle. Very enjoyable, cliffhanger spicy. Like I said, bring bullying back. Teach this girl a lesson. I'm sure they're gonna sideswipe me and I'm gonna feel bad or something like that, but I don't know. She had that feisty biatch energy, and I think we need to put her in her place, but maybe that's what student congress is for. I don't know. Like I said, the students seemed rather hyped up for that, but I don't know why, but maybe episode 8 will prove me wrong. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, though, down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. Alright, so today we got Daw, Kieran Dean, Draco Burns, The Legend of Sora 73, Shadow, Trix, Askar, and we also have Bat. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.